In the case of beachgoer versus sand flea, nothing is straightforward. Our beachgoer has sustained several bites, and fingers are being pointed in every direction. We're going to try to exonerate some innocent critters who all too often bear the blame for itchy legs, and try to shine a light on the true culprit, a dastardly bloodsucker continuously dodging justice. It's a tale as old as time. You are having a beautiful day on the beach, sun shining, waves are lapping across bare feet. You're at peace. The sun begins to set and you make your way back to your towel, but you're in no hurry to head home. After all, you're safely on land. You've seen shores and there's no way you'd be in any danger this far from water. But then, they strike. Whatever they are, there are dozens, no, hundreds. Like tiny pinprick piranhas, they feast on your exposed ankles and legs. You sprint back to your car, bellowing a fear-riddled scream. But it's too late. They've bitten you. Now, you're going to have itchy legs for a day or two. The blame is typically put on sand fleas, so we can ignore the other beach dwellers, Mr. Crab, Mr. Slater, Mr. Periwinkle, and Mr. Sandfly. The first defendant, the sandhopper, is well known. You can often find him hopping across the sandy beach, and when you disturb clumps of seaweed or topple stones, dozens may come scurrying from beneath. They are often referred to as sand fleas, despite being crustaceans, not insects. This little guy certainly resembles a flea in movement, capable of hopping impressive distances by rapidly extending the curled section of abdomen that it keeps under its body. So the method of travel fits, but when we look into their diet, the sandhopper's innocence is proven. These are scavengers of seaweed and pose no threat to humans. They do not bite people, and are therefore innocent. Another common sight on British beaches is the springtail, once again resembling fleas in their size and ability to hop. These critters form huge swarms when they get caught atop the water's surface in rock pools, and can often be found scuttling around under rocks and amongst plant life. Once again, the diet of springtails is what clears them of any wrongdoing. They are scavengers and do not bite humans. They're completely harmless. Let me prove it. Mole crabs, also known as sand fleas. These guys A. don't resemble fleas, and B. cannot bite people. Innocent. Tunga penetrans, or chigo fleas, the true sand flea. Finally, we have a proper suspect. These are in fact real fleas and they do bite humans. Case closed? No. For one, these are burrowing parasites, so you will have a lot worse than a little red bite mark if they get a hold of you. They are also very uncommon in colder climates, preferring the beaches of Africa and Latin America, and you should only be concerned about them when in tropical or subtropical regions. Somehow our most likely suspect is not a valid option. Horrible, but not who we're looking for. We've gone through four creatures who are usually referred to as sand fleas, and only one of them turned out to actually be a flea. The rest, nothing to worry about. And the one we did identify as a real flea cannot be responsible for this mass of little red bites. There has to be something we're missing. Maybe we need to look beyond sand fleas. What else dwells on the beach and could swarm humans at dusk? Wait. Mr. Sandfly. I didn't catch your first name. Phlebotomine sandflies, present on all beaches across Britain, are endoparasitic, landing on exposed skin to take a drink of blood from their victim. They're basically mosquitoes that live by the sea. They mainly strike during dusk and during the night, and a swarm will leave their victims with many small red itchy bite marks. If you've come back from the beach covered in such bites, this is almost certainly your culprit. Don't go blaming sand fleas. It's actually the sand flies who have done this to you. Case closed. Researching all of this was an absolute nightmare due to how commonly the name sand flea is slapped onto a critter. Even more frustrating is when you go onto a website to help with your identification, and despite being against Tunga penetrans, the true sand flea, as shown by the reference to Tungiasis, a condition caused by them, the website refers to them as crustaceans. Wrong. And shows a picture of a harmless sandhopper, not even remotely what it's describing. Some websites get almost everything right, but then state that chigoe fleas aren't real fleas, or even insects. Every second website contradicts the first. If this has taught me anything, it's that when you get into more complicated topics, the internet becomes an absolute muddled nightmare for your research. I'm going to go do something less aggravating than researching this, like counting grains of sand on the beach or banging my head against a wall.